My guest today, Nika Wood, is nothing short of a miracle. Nika is a dedicated art therapy coach helping others heal through creativity and art therapy. But a catastrophic moment in her life almost changed everything. A tragedy so severe, it should have been the end. But Nika's story didn't end there. Not only did Nika survive this tragedy, but her recovery is miraculous. Her determination to heal, her faith, and the power of the right mindset is something we can all learn from. Here to tell her story today is my dear friend, Nika Wood. Nika, it's so great to see you. Welcome to the podcast. I can't wait to hear your story today. I I'm just so happy that you're with us. I'm happy that you're still with us. Needless to say, it's a miracle to have you here. And as I reflect back, last year it was May 2024 when your story began that you're going to tell us today. And I'm just so grateful that I know you and that I got to live through your story and experience the miraculous recovery that you've been going through. So, anyway, welcome to the podcast. I want you to just give our audience a little background on you and let us know who you are, and so they can get to know you. And then we'll talk more about your story. Go ahead.
Thank you, Robin. What an honor to be your guest. I'm so grateful. My name is Nika Wood, and I'm from Tokyo, Japan. So you will hear my accent, and I hope you hear it as a charm. Well, in Tokyo, I had this job as a fashion coordinator and makeup artist, and worked on commercials and many photograph shoot, and what a joy! But then I moved to US through Santa Monica to New York City, where I was able to work at hair salon on Madison Avenue, later on Fifth Avenue, and on the side, I had this makeup artist job to help movie promotion after movie made. They call it as movie junk in their industry as a makeup artist. And I just totally embraced New York life with art and creative people. I even put up a Soho art exhibit show single-handed with many people exhibited, including music. But 8 years later, I went back to Tokyo, and wow, to surprise, God had a lot of favors waiting for me. Um, Not only I met my husband there from the church, me and my husband involved in baptizing my mother, and we got married. But after that, we moved to here, Alaska. We live in Anchorage, Alaska. We have a second house in Big Lake. And it's been great life together. Had my own daughter given birth, and we adopted two Alaskan Native children. And we had my husband's dream as a family project to create build this plane. And wow, busy life. It was very full of busy schedule life. And after many years, after the children are certain older age, I found myself stuck. Like I lost myself, who I was, in a sense that I did not know what I desired and what who I was. And I needed to go into a search of myself again. And that's when I met Robin.
Yes, you get entered into a mastermind program in Live Your Vision, and she was in my class, and I just marveled at all your creativity. You told me your backstory on working in New York and being from Japan, and you've had a glamorous life, and then you moved to Alaska? I mean, this is a tough transition. It's very different. There's not like a, creative store on every corner, I imagine. I don't know, I haven't been there, but so that was quite a switch for you and
Yeah.
quite a change of lifestyle. And so when you came into the class, and I got in touch with a lot of your creativity, and I saw what you were doing, and then you started your own program. Tell us a little about what you got certified in and what you decided to do with your creativity at this point
Yes.
in life.
Yes, I know. So as Robin is creative background, but as through that program, I started my passion and then realized all that creative job that I had. I had deeper understanding of who I was then, and I used it to self-express. So I decided to study and became a certified art therapy practitioner. And it's wonderful to understand power of art. And now I call myself as a art therapy coach. So
And
2023 I started to give some workshop.
and you're quite good, and I remember when you came and did it for some of the women in my group and some of the other coaches, and we had the best time, Nika. It was so beautiful. We created these trees. We put all of our emotions and thoughts on them. I mean, it was just powerful, and we kept them, and we used
Oh,
them. It's like that.
thank you.
Snow is our we loved what you were doing. We were so excited about your launching into this area. And
Thank you.
so tell us then what happened. So you were doing well. You had some online courses, right? And you were doing real
Mhm.
well.
Yes. So I did online and in person in year 23, 24 in beginning, and even like in person and local classes. This processing helps people because I witnessed people even come up to tears by painting after the guided lessons. And I saw people walk away with a totally different posture of body because something clicked and moved them. And
Oh.
so I became really, really passionate about how art, this concept of art therapy, helps people to get in touch with their emotions and they are able to process it because brain captures that emotions and they can navigate themselves to become the best of their potentials.
So not only are you using creativity to expand people, and now you're helping them heal and get in touch with emotions, which is a really powerful tool. Because yes, so much of our time sort of oppressed about all the things that happen to us in life, and to have that as a tool is really valuable. So you're doing pretty well. It's 2024. As a matter of fact, it was a year ago, right? It was May 2024. Tell us what happened. Tell us what was going on at that time.
So, me and my husband, we were about to visit Japan because my mother, who's been suffering Alzheimer, doctor told her she had another 3 months to live. And so before that, we were um, fixing up new house we purchased in Big Lake, and I was giving a hand for my husband above attic of aircraft hangar. And suddenly, my heart stopped for 8 seconds, which I learned little later that my heart condition pre-existed, caused that stop of 8 seconds, and I fell through the ceiling tile onto a concrete floor 20 feet down. And wow, I don't remember this. I think it's the trauma does this, that my mind was shot. But I took two ambulance that day because the first closest emergency room had to stabilize my life and go down farther for better surgeon existing hospitals and to have my broken bones. I broke multiple pelvis bones and elbows were shattered and my ribs are broken many parts of it, and I also shattered cheekbone on my left. And yes, so I survived very slim chance of um life life-threatening trauma.
And when you fell, did you fall flat on your body? Did you fall face first? Do you recall, like, based on your fall, how you landed?
I don't remember, but I think I landed on the left because I think God spared my right-handed side of body completely not injured.
That would be like being on the second story of a house on the roof, and here you are, 61-year-old woman, you fall, free fall, because, of course, your heart had stopped, through the roof onto a cement floor,
Yes.
20 feet. And I have to say this just amazes me. I am blown away to think that you survived this because I tripped on the stairs in my apartment and broke my bone on the top of my foot. I wasn't even 2 feet up, right? And I'm still hurting from it 2 years ago, and I'm thinking, here you are, all those broken pieces in you crushed, you hit your cheek, your pelvis, your oh my gosh, all this. Did you have internal bleeding as well?
Hmm.
What
Yeah, a few days later, went through that. My trauma doctor acted quickly, and I had a blood transfusion that day, and yeah, next day, that trauma doctor came to me saying that you are a miracle because 40% of fatality in just internal bleeding itself.
this is just unbelievable. So tell us so you so got to the hospital, you when did you become conscious, and what were some of those first thoughts that you had in the hospital?
Yes. So I had one surgery next day, and following day another surgery. So those days I don't remember. I'm sure I was conscious. I was talking according to my husband, but after that, my husband decided to bring me a watercolor set to my hospital room, and I received this good news of my daughter got engaged in Tokyo. And soon after that, my husband sent me this song that he always kept as a song to dance with our daughter at her wedding. So I decided to start painting mountains that I was able to see through the window and listening to music and then looking at picture that coming in from her, and I finally cried. That's when I was wow. Realizing all the emotions that was kept inside, and my mind was shut down but became more clear, like all my fears and anxiety, and also joy was there too, but a lot of emotions all together came through. And I believe that power over art, because processing it with music was what exactly I needed. I needed to recognize where I was at, and I did not know much about outcome of this all yet, but I needed to process that. And what happened is when I processed it, my mind gained strength to deal with it instead of shutting down. And I gained stronger mindset and into a resilience to walk through this healing.
So that opened up your mind. It allowed your feelings to come to the surface instead of living in that shock and denial of like, I don't even know where I'm at. I don't know what's going on. You suddenly brought everything to the surface, able to cope with it and face it. Where did you go with your next step of your healing after the art opened you up?
So after that, started to see bigger picture because friend of mine reminded me that after all this broken bones, I'm gonna walk away with no permanent effect. Even my visions are ended up okay, and no brain injury was caused. So I knew then that God wanted to spare my life, extend my life purposely. And there was a purpose, there was some big reason. So I started to focus on that and started to vision um, me to convert all this experience as an art therapy practitioner to create a course to help other people. That was my next step. And even through like a physical therapy, that my therapist told me that you need to visualize your leg is lifting itself because I couldn't. But there was a lot of visualization, being in the bed, being in a wheelchair. It was um, good part of it. And then through that, I believe that I gained a lot of steps to take, plan to go visit mother, and which I made it in August.
And our mind is a powerful tool. We underestimate it so much. And Nika, that's what was so impressive is that we watched you on social media. We watched your process of healing, your determination. We sat there going, just could not believe she's like, "I'm doing this today, I'm moving this today." We're like, "What? You're doing what?" People that go through that kind of accident, even if they survive, are sometimes laid up for, like, 2 years before they're
Mhm.
moving around. So you're like, "I'm going to, Tokyo in August." Like, you were crushed. And so, Nika, it was a powerful process to watch you in your healing and know that you were using the mental fitness, the mental imaging, and the therapy to help get in touch and the prayer to help propel you forward. And yes, a lot of people were praying for you, Nika, and it was just so powerful to watch you heal and to see what happened. Anything else about that healing process that you need to tell us about? Because that was amazing to watch.
Yeah, so art powered me, and also that motivated me by finding those stronger mind and the goals. And also, yes, prayers. Oh my goodness. I realized the whole world is praying. There were so many people after that I didn't even know that they knew that I was in an accident, said, I've been praying for you. And I realized that another thing was I needed to be connected to people despite the isolation feeling of being injured. And I chose to connect online. I chose to connect with in person, even like hospital staff. Some nurses will switch their room so they can come see me for that day to attend. Like I really chose to connect and give to even other patient. And that in that, I received a lot of prayers and kindness and encouragement, but also I think it was healthy for me to know I can still be there for others and I can still inspire others being this broken.
I love that you took that mindset of like, "I'm broken. This is destroying me," to, "Wait a minute. I could make this empowering," right? Like, I could use what I know and apply it to me. And there's nothing more powerful than someone who teaches healing, therapy, and transformation at any level to have a personal experience with it. Boy,
Yes.
that rings true to the world, like, yeah, "Teacher, heal thyself," kinda thing, and that's really what you did, Nika. You showed the world that with all of these tools, I can survive this. First of all, the first miracle of even surviving that you must have had some angels that softened that fall, but the fact that you took your recovery so seriously and were not resigned to this brokenness and used it as an inspiration to others, so powerful. And we were so, and still are. We're still watching you heal. It's a year later, and look at her. She looks totally normal, you guys. It's amazing. And I know that she's working on her physical therapy in the background, and she still shares, and you'll have to follow her on social media to watch her story and how she walked through it. And then you were in Japan in August. We saw her in a picture wheeling herself across somewhere, and you got to see your mother. Was that the last time you saw your mom?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a miracle. You got to be there and see your mother after having that catastrophic accident and say goodbye to your mom, and that was a really sweet moment. And
Yes.
Nika, you've just been an inspiration of recovery at every level, and I know that you learned a lot of things about yourself. Can you give us a few highlights of what you learned through this process?
This might sound strange to you, but now I'm confidently be able to say, I am a miracle. And I feel like everyone should be able to say that too about yourself. I realize how much that life counts. And I can reset my mind every day to see every little things adding to my life. And it is just so empowering to know that I had this reset of my time of life. Being still is a giant step. And it's kind of like a opposite of who I was because I was lying to myself that my worth is in kind of like productivity. If I do something, I worth something, but it doesn't need to be. I can be who I am, and that is my worth. And that was a new thing that I learned. And I'm a good mastery of mind student, like we've been talking, and also a healing itself is a fostering process of self-awareness.
I mean, I love that you have tools for healing like this because, we all find ourselves in broken times in our life, and yours was physically broken and the trauma of what you went through. But if you even take that down a couple of thresholds, we go through shock and awe and times in our life that we don't know how to get in touch with our feelings. We stuff
Mhm.
it, we deny it, we
Yes.
got away, we go through so many emotions, but what you've just told us is that there is a way to get through it. I mean, we all have to be properly motivated for anything we do, but and just to recognize that we're miracles. We are miracles.
Yes.
And our life is a miracle. Even if we didn't fall 20 feet, onto the pavement, we're all miracles. God's watching out for each of us.
Yes.
And your life has been nothing short of a miracle, Nika, to all of us. And I know that you have wisdom for others. If there's anything that you feel like you could say, okay, if this happens to you, tell us what that would look like. What steps would you give somebody else practically?
That first thing is to get in touch in your emotion, and art is a great aid. Definitely. Because without it, you get stuck because healing process is like ups and down. That having that mindset of this has happened for me, not to me. Because to me means you're victim. And and that doesn't help you. But also having a positive attitude about a process of healing. I heard it from some doctor that you're like 20 to 30% ahead of the healing game just because of your mindset. If your mind is strong and positive and healthy and spirit is up, having, great days, your healing exceed your expectation or doctor's expectation. You really can have that successful healing through your mindset. So that's another thing. But then again, overall, you need a winning team. Like I had you and many other people around me to cheer me up in prayer also, and not just to receive the good, but be able to give to those winning teammates. That's important.
I love your mindset about, like, I'm not a victim. This didn't happen to me, it happened for me. It's actually only served to strengthen your influence and your impact as an art therapy coach because you can tell people from experience how you addressed your own issues and how that helped you, how that served you. And there's nothing like that example, and you did that so beautifully, and I love too the way you gave back to everybody, Nika. You're absolutely right. You didn't sit in your sick bed and broken bed and say, "Well, just pray for me. I'm desperate." No, you're like, yeah, I gotta give back. I'm gonna get out there and heal because 1, I need to, and 2, I'm an art therapist and I'm a believer, and I'm going to show people that they can do this by doing it, by setting that example.
It to me is now is a blessing. The accident was blessing in disguise.
Who
Totally.
could say that? Them could like, it almost choke most people. Yes, falling, 20 feet, what a bl but I believe you. I believe you because of the way you've processed it and walked through it.
Thank you.
And, that's been a really powerful example. So, Nika, as you are moving forward and healing, I know many people would like to follow your journey. Can you tell us how to get in contact with you or even join art therapy or anything that you are doing currently?
Personally, I'm aiming to climb up a mountain this summer and planning a daughter's wedding. It's been kind of hustle, but also joy. And I'm happy to tell you I created this course, Healing Through Art. 6 lessons, guided lessons, always accompanied with some activity of art. Influential um, art of Japan also. I put that in there a little bit as taste and basically guiding you to have a mind mastery. And end of it, I hope that you all work with a resilient mind with a great purpose ahead. But this course has been um, released once, and few people has taken, and great review has been given back to me. Also, planning to do some free workshop online so that people can listeners can taste of that little bit and
Great.
and all that. So overall, the best way to reach me is my website, soul art soul soul art to heal.com. And there's a contact page. Also, you could email me at nika at soul art to heal. And I am also active in Facebook as my name.
Great. That's perfect, Nika. And so if you wanna get in touch with Nika, if you wanna participate and figure out what is this art therapy, what is this all about, and experience it, we're just so honored that you're here today and that you have such a beautiful, heroic story, one that I believe will go down in history, not only for you, but for all of us who've watched your journey and will watch your journey and the continuation of your healing. Healing is a long-term process, but it starts with recognizing and surfacing the emotions and addressing those, and then, having the right mindset through the healing process, and that helps our body and mind work through it. So, it's broken the walls of resistance down, and I can't wait to see you dancing at your daughter's wedding, and thank you for the beautiful story of survival that you've left us all with, and just appreciate you so much. And may you continue to heal and be a light to all of us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Robin, for everything.